Hi, welcome to HeKate Crossing. I want to continue with this daily meditations for women who love too much. So let's take a breath, and I know that we do it, we give a lot of ourselves away. So what we're going to do is, I just want to talk about this book a little bit. The idea for this book first came about during a conversation with a woman who had been greatly helped by reading and studying Women Who Love Too Much. She mentioned that a book of daily meditations would have been welcome during her struggle to recover from her lifelong pattern of addictive relationships. You now hold the result of her suggestion in your hands. A first aid manual to help you preserve your sanity, serenity, and sense of humour as you develop a healthier approach to living and loving. Richard Torregross's illustrations provide welcome leavening to a serious subject, and at the same time place these daily reminders in a context as unexpectedly familiar as a surprise view of our own reflection. For the most part, the thoughts on each page are brief and to the point, necessarily small doses of a new way of thinking to match the necessarily small steps we take one by one to change the direction of our lives. Asking a man to illustrate a book by a woman for women might at first seem like a peculiar choice, but what I found extraordinary about this work is that the issues addressed here, though written from a woman's perspective, transcend gender. The quest for love, the need for spirituality, and the internal rhythm of relationships all are topics of great concern to men as well as women. This book then is for all those who desire a greater understanding of themselves and the people they are trying to love. So we begin with, when being in love means being in pain, we are loving too much. Loving turns into loving too much when your partner is inappropriate, uncaring, or unavailable, and yet you cannot give him up. In fact, you want him, you need him even more. There is such a thing as making one or two foolish choices in one's love life, but there is also such a thing as the very real disease of relationship addiction. Whenever we attempt to force a solution to another's problems, we are loving too much. Being women who love too much, we operate as though love, attention, and approval don't count, unless we are able to extract them from men who, because of their own problems and preoccupations, are unable to readily give them to us. Like compulsive eaters, we who love too much must learn to do in a sane and balanced way what we once did obsessively, because eating and relating both are necessary aspects of a normal living. There is no clear-cut behavioural definition for sobriety. Recovery is not therefore a black and white question, but one of degree relative to our former condition and behaviour. We begin by becoming willing to channel the energy and effort that we formerly spent on trying to change someone who else towards changing ourselves instead. We become by becoming willing to channel the energy and effort that we formerly spent on trying to change someone else toward changing ourselves instead. Interesting. So that's it from me. Don't forget to check the links down below. Check the links on my channel. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be up.